Gets all your juices flowing, gets your heart beating, gets your muscles warm, gives you a stretch, changes the hormonal mix in the body. It's really good because it's a really big movement. So if you're quite stressed, big movements work best. Obviously, after a sun salutation, you might not feel quite like lying down and relaxing, but you will feel better overall in your body. So it's one to do if you can't necessarily lie down. I always think of that time when you've put the food in the oven and you've got like 10 minutes and you obviously don't want to lie down and fall asleep and burn everything. So a good sun salutation in that little gap is really good, okay? Oh, lovely. Okay, so let's those feet come down and relax. Feel them spreading across the floor. 3 deep breaths. So as you breathe in, feel the feet, and as you breathe out, as if they were sinking into lovely wet sand on a warm beach. As you breathe out, breathing in, and as you breathe out, sinking them down, and again breathing in and breathing out. And then let's bring our arms up into V-shaped position, lifting out. So initially, if it's tight in the breastbone, we don't want to push it too much. So just a nice slight look up, taking a breath in, stretching from the inside, warming the breastbone up. And then as you breathe out, forward bend. Tucking the chin in, bringing the arms down, but we're going to go nice and slowly. This first round doesn't have to be fast. Getting the shoulders to let go, getting the neck to let go just for a moment. You can have the knees bent if the hamstrings are still a bit stiff and need warming up a bit more before you do this. And then we're going to breathe in and look up and flatten the back. And as you breathe out, again, drop down. Let that drop come all the way to the nape of the neck. And then taking one leg back, we're going to drop the knee and lean forward. So we're in dragon pose. Keeping this lean, coming forward, forward, forwards. Now you can have your hands on the knees. That's slightly harder. If it's really sore, bring the hands maybe to the floor and push back slightly to temper the stretch, because it can be really sticky in there. And we need to give it time. And the more time we give it, the more we're going to stretch slightly forwards. Relax the neck, relax your jaw. Feel into your feet and hands for a moment. It's like one of these yin poses. It has to stay there for a little while. Bring the hands to the ground. Foot comes behind. We're in plank pose. Plank pose can be with the knees on the floor. It all depends on your wrists and shoulders. And we're just waiting here for the heart rate to come up. So just 2 or 3 breaths. Slight C shape in the spine, that tail tucked in so that we're working the core, and then we drop the knees down, drop the elbows. Bring the hands around to the front, make a pillow. And we can start with the bottom roll. The bottom roll is nice and steady, little movement side to side, just preparing the lower back and the legs for a good stretch. And then as you work that and you get into that rhythm, dropping into the rhythm center, thinking about rhythm, you could even have a song. Got the 12 Days of Christmas in my head today. And then just bringing that to stillness, relaxing the legs, feeling the lower back, letting go. Keeping that lovely feeling of release, bring the hands round to your sides, elbows tucked in, ready for our Cobra. So with the legs still relaxed, looking up, breathing in, stretching from the inside out. And then keep the push. And keep the hands stuck to the mat. We're coming into puppy pose. So we're sinking out of the stuck hands and lengthening in the arms and opening out the glands in the armpits. And as you sit back and breathe, lengthening the rib cage, lengthening the shoulders, the joints of the wrists and elbows, all opening out. And then we can tuck the toes under and come into our inversion, which will be our downward dog. And of course, it's a little bit cold in the hamstring, so we might want to pace on the spot, walk the knees in and out so that we can start to prepare the hamstrings a bit better. And finishing with 2 heels down. And breathe. Relax the head. Let go of the jaw. Feel the feet sinking into the floor. Feel the hands sinking into the floor. Let go of the jaw. And then when you start to get uncomfortable, you're going to look up first. Bring the leg that went back forward to reach your hands. If it doesn't quite kick forward far enough, just adjust when you get there. And then we're going to lean into the other side. Again, you can look up or you can just bring them hand to the knee. This other side might not be as spongy, so just see how it feels. Like for me, this side is really stiff today, so I'm going to come down a little bit and relax my feet. Let go of any tension in my mouth. Good. And then having had that little stretch there, we're going to come into forward bend. So lift that back knee off the floor, swing it forward. Head comes down, grab hold of the elbows. Dangling again. And of course, we've got a little bit of a warmer hamstring, so we can begin to feel the buttocks spreading, the shoulders hanging, the head hanging even more. And then in breath, we look up. Out breath, looking down. Tuck the chin right in as you unfurl, a bit like a fern leaf coming out nice and slowly. When the shoulders are in position, we bring the arms up, looking up and back, breathing in to stretch from the inside, then palms together. I'm going to bring the hands to this thymus gland here. Those of you that do switching and no switching, it's the same spot. You just give that a good rub. Waking up. So sun salutation, I usually stop when I have the feeling in my body that like I've had an inside shower. You know how fresh you feel on the outside after a shower? When you feel fresh on the inside, that's usually the sign that the hormones have done their thing. I think we need one more round at least though for that. So let's try again, a little bit faster this time, a little bit more flowing, breathing in, looking up and back. As you breathe out, forward bend. Now that we're warmer, we can move with a bit more confidence, a bit faster, breathing in, looking up, flattening the back. And as you breathe out again, dangling down, grab hold of the elbows. Nice long out breath. When you're ready to move on, the other leg is going back, dropping the knee. We're coming into what dragon pose again. Keep that lean forward. Now, if you want to work a little bit harder, there is more to this pose. As you know, we've got a lovely underarm stretch as you lift up. Looking up to the ceiling, back bend, breathing in. And then we're going to bring the hands back down to the ground, ready for our plank pose. So holding the plank pose. Again, C-shape, that tail slightly tucked in, the knees slightly tucked in, the core engaged. Waiting for that heart rate to go up. Now remember, it's different for everybody. Drop the knees, drop the body. We get our little rest here. So bottom roll. Starting to feel a little softening in the lower back, hopefully with this rock. And as long as you like. You've already done it once, so you might not need it as long this time, but just see how it feels. When it feels right, we're just going to bring that to stillness. Observe the release in the back for a moment. So in a busy day, this might be, you know, a little moment where we just drop down just for a second. It's so powerful. So we don't necessarily want to move on too quickly. But if you feel ready, it's Cobra next. So elbows in, back relaxed, breathing in, looking up, stretching from the inside, keeping those hands nicely stuck to the floor, leaning back, puppy pose, big stretch up through the shoulders. If you've got a tight diaphragm like I have, you might even feel that diaphragm there getting a nice stretch. So take nice deep breaths to stretch it a little bit more. And then we're coming into our downward dog. So our inversion. Main purpose of this is really to be upside down and get the upside downness out of our practice. But of course, we've got hamstring stretching as well. As you know, I like to call them the eaters of cortisol, our hamstrings, our consumer of cortisol. So good stretch there is always welcome. Let the head go, shoulders rolling out, breathing. S to C breath. So every time you breathe out, slight C shape. Every time you breathe in, slight S shape. Relaxing those legs as much as you can. Staying with it for as long as you're able. Again, in a busy day, this might be the next spot of calm. Now then we're going to take a step forward, looking up. As you breathe in, head comes down, rolling out, chin tucked in. And then we're going to bring the arms up, looking up and back, big stretch. Palms together. And there we are.